Good morning, beautiful heart. What's vibin'? All right, here we go. Dr. Danae here to do today's energy reading. See what is going on. In meditating, before this reading, there was a distinct energy coming through. And then as the cards started flying out, this story really unfolded. I'm not surprised to see this. Who knows how this is going to end up coming out in the explanation. There are definitely two energies here, contrasting energies, which makes sense. So let me get the PSAs out of the way. This is a general reading. It is not a private one-on-one reading. With that said, the whole reading may resonate, parts of it may resonate, or none at all. That is absolutely okay. Get in where you fit in. Do not make a reading apply to you if it doesn't. Another thing with readings, it's energy. It's not psychic predictions. It's not any of that. I'm literally reading the energy that I'm pulling on. So my readings are also timeless. This means whenever you come across this reading or you find it, that is the time that you are meant to see it. You can also go back to it at any time, re-listen to it, and get even more nuggets out of it. Why? All of my readings, not just this one, every reading I do is designed that way, just like my courses. Same thing. Why? Because there is so much embedded in the energy, and as you integrate the energy, recognize energy, and evolve, you will find deeper meanings. So always keep that in mind. You can always go back at any time. All right, that's out of the way. For those of you, if you're interested in a session with me, I don't just do readings, I do therapy sessions as well. All that information is in the description box below. Click on the link and check it out. Okay. So overall, what we're starting out with this intense energy that we have been having with the new moon, solstice, the Taurus stellium, the planets in retrograde, all of this chaos and excitement. What has been going on is 3D and 5D. We are upgrading. The opportunity to shift timelines is here. It's a choice. It is a free will choice. So for those of you who have chosen to be more in 5D or want to live your life that way, we are 2 days through the solstice at the time of the recording for this. The energy is settling in. It is very much introvert energy. This is a time for you to sit with you, be with you, and really honor who you are, where you're at. And when I say honor, I mean honor all of it. Your light side and your dark side, your shadow side and your soul side, all of it. You get to choose who you want to be and how you want your life to be. With that said, there have been a lot of challenges going on in your life. And here we are at this precipice. This energy feels as if you had some aha moments. You went through a real intense, difficult time, didn't think you were going to make it, wasn't even sure if you wanted to make it. But then things started to get a little bit better. So you were able to hang on, kind of get excited. But now here we are, moving and shifting in energy again. Coming up with the Six of Swords, Knight of Swords, High Priestess, and Ten of Swords. This row right here, setting the tone, setting the pace. You did make a conscious choice to move away from 3D behavior, personality, monkey mind, altered ego, habits, and ways. You recognized that if you keep responding or reacting in the same way to the same people, same situations, you are going to keep recycling that energy and get it back. You woke up to that. Yay, you. So in waking up to that, you started making different choices. And remember, over the last few days, I've been talking about when you make choice, consistency breeds momentum. You need consistency and momentum to really get away from the old habits. Knight of Swords energy. This Knight of Swords for me, energetically, is all about that push-pull, 5D, 3D energy, because the Knight is very action-oriented. Swords is about our thoughts, the way we think, our beliefs, our processes. But Knights are very in and out. They have a mission to do. They are action-oriented. They come on the scene, do what they got to do, and then they leave again. This is that back and forth energy. So you made the decision to move away. You start moving away from that. High Priestess, making moves in silence, not sharing what you're doing, keeping those pearls to yourself, tapping into the higher knowledge, which is great. But here we go with the Ten of Swords, back to that duality. And this is part of the pattern on this journey, guys. So if you've got any guilt, shame, judgment internally in your subconscious inner dialogue going on about what's happening in your life, where you're at, where you're not at, this is a lot of that subconscious habitual self-sabotage you're trying to get out of. And it does come up anytime you make a free will choice to go in a different direction. So here you are doing that thing, whatever that thing is for you, making that different free will choice. And then the Ten of Swords comes up. How does that look like in practicality in your 3D world? That could be a situation, a person, a job, a friend, a family member, a pet. It doesn't matter, because at the root of it, it's all energy. But the old energy comes up and it starts bringing in, because the old energy is rooted in the 5 human habits of judgment, guilt, condemnation, blame, shame, guilt, and gossip. And I want to tag on another word with gossip. I want to tag on assumptions, because they're not, and opinions. They're not rooted in truth. They're based on individuals' filters and their own beliefs. So they're not true, and they can always be changed. But so here's that energy. You start making change, you're moving forward, you're tuned in, tapped in, feeling good. Then all of a sudden, bam, you find yourself thinking about old things. Old energy seems to be coming up. It seems familiar. So then that gets your attention. Now you've jumped tracks again. You're thinking in the old ways. But here's the world. This is literally talking about choosing to jump into that new timeline, choosing to do things differently in your life so you will have different results. All through, no matter what cards we look at here in this 16 card spread, all of it, it's back and forth, back and forth. So here you are. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm gaining that strength. I'm looking at my fears head on. I'm going within to come out. Then here's the Two of Wands looking back at this new world. And yeah, I get it. It's a bit scary. You don't know what's ahead. You can't see what's ahead. And so all you have to go on is your past experiences. Your past experiences are limited. So this is you really having to make an action choice of, what am I going to commit to? Am I really gonna double down and go forward in this newness, no matter how scary it is, no matter that I don't know what's gonna happen? Or am I gonna look back with this devil energy? And for me, the devil energy is all about altered ego and the matrix, the habits of self-sabotage and toxicity that keep us chained to a life less than. Keeps us chained to people, places, things, jobs, way too long. It keeps us on that hamster wheel. So here, this is literally saying, okay, at any moment, I can make a choice of how I want my life to go. Which energy, which consciousness am I choosing? 3D or 5D? But I've been picking up, for some of you, there are people in your life that you have some sort of contract with, whether it's a soul contract, a physical contract in the 3D, it doesn't matter. You know that this contract or this connection holds you back. You experience disappointment, disillusionment. It's not emotionally fulfilling. It feels as if on the surface it was sold as one thing, but the reality is completely different. And it leads you right back into that energy of lack, focusing on what you don't have, holding on to things too tightly or too long. You've known this. This is a repeating cycle. This is a karmic cycle you have been walking through. You've been looking for answers, and I feel like you get answers, you get the signs, and then you question those, which then keeps you in this 5 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, straight up self-sabotaging energy. This is feeling specific in that you have experienced the short end of the stick all the time. Whether you give too much and those that you give to are not capable of giving back to you for an equal give and take. That has had you stuck for a long time. I feel like for some of you, this energy was projected. You were taught this from a young age. So for those of you that grew up in some sort of narcissistic dynamic, whether it was parents, siblings, grandparents, what have you, the narcissistic dynamic. Now, there is full-blown narcissism, and there's also narcissistic tendencies. All of us have narcissistic tendencies. Doesn't mean everybody is a narcissist. Completely different. What I mean by narcissistic tendencies is it's an energy, it's a programming, and all of us have it because it's ingrained into human consciousness in the 3D. It is a survival energy, so to speak, and I use that with air quotes because it's not truth. But we can spend time in narcissistic tendencies and not actually be narcissists. But the energy I'm talking about is you grew up in an environment where there was some sort of narcissistic energy. That really skewed your perspective on relationships, on yourself, how to be, all of those different things, which leads to codependency, people-pleasing, unworthiness, seeking validation. At the root of all of that energy is doubt, fear, and unworthiness. So a lot of that has been coming up. You know you are at this precipice in your life. You need to make a choice. To drop that habit of putting yourself second. That belief that you have to be everything to everybody or help everybody, and then you'll help yourself. That is the karmic cycle. That is the twisted belief. The truth is, you cannot pour into anybody until your cup is full. An analogy, you're on a plane. Why do they tell you if the oxygen mask dropped from the ceiling, put the mask on you first, then assist somebody else? It's the same concept. You are no good to anybody or you if you don't have oxygen or if you're depleted. Energetically, it's the same thing. And here's the thing, you are not responsible for anybody else. You are responsible for you. Guys, do not get off on the weeds on this. Do not get distracted. I'm speaking energetically, okay? I'm not talking about, if you're a parent and you have a child, I'm not talking about that. Don't be an idiot, okay? Yeah, I said it. If I upset you, oh well. I'm not here to pussyfoot and tiptoe around your damn feelings. Get a grip, okay? I'm talking about energetic-wise. This concept of, well, let me be this to them first so they'll be this way to me. That's backwards. You got to be that for you first. When you operate in that way, you practice that with you first in your own life, you set the vibration and tone for how other people can come in. Nobody can give you something that you think you want if you haven't given it to yourself first. Again, guys, I'm talking energy. So underneath all of this, you're still in this hanged man position, needing to see things from a different perspective. There have been a lot of feelings bottled up for you. I do feel that over this new moon and solstice, a lot of those emotions came up and you felt like you had no control over them and they just came out. I want you to know your emotions really are where your power is and your strength. The emotions come from the feeling side of life. That is the feminine side of life. And that is how we attract and magnetize to us. That is where we find our strength. Guys, when you are in control of your emotions, nobody can come in and rock your world or take your power from you. Only if you allow them. There is so much strength there. You have already tasted this. You know energetically what that feels like. With that, you have already started to manifest. You are really in a very solitary energy. You could be married. You could be in a relationship. You could be, around people, but be in a very solitude energy. And that's what I'm talking about, manifesting your 9 of Pentacles, really focusing intentionally on what you want to bring in. You have made that conscious choice to walk away from anything that is emotionally draining, not fulfilling, or doesn't give back to you equally. That's a power move. However, I say however because this energy is showing that currently you are doing the energetic square dance. And I'm here to tell you that's normal. Don't be hard on yourself. This is how you learn how to decipher and read energy and how you learn to work with it and move through it and start living the life that you have always wanted. It is all designed for your benefit and your growth. But that starts with your own thoughts and beliefs. The Wheel of Fortune, you are here for this right now. You have historically been living a karmic cycle. You have given more than you've received. Things have not been fair in your life. You have gotten the short end of the stick. You have been focused on you and doing the internal work. Therefore, this wheel is now changing. Your experiences moving forward, as long as your thoughts and feelings are on the positive, what you want, and none of what you don't want. You guys have been hearing me say it repeatedly. What you think about, you bring about. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. You need to be self-disciplined and not having your attention and your thoughts go back to the past and what didn't happen, why it didn't happen. Jupiter is a big planet. Jupiter expands. It's an energy of expansion. So if you're thinking on lack, the past, what didn't work out, and saying, well, I don't want that again, well, your attention on that is going to bring more of that to you. Don't get mad at me. I'm not in your head thinking that. That's 100% on you. And that's your responsibility to be self-disciplined and harness that monkey mind, that bucking bronco that is so stubborn. But when you focus on the positive, saying yes to life so life can say yes to you in all its victory, you are then saying no to anything that's not in alignment or less than, and not focusing on that past energy. When you don't focus on it, you're not feeding it, it will fall away of its own accord. That's when this wheel, where you've been on the bottom, can't see your way out, now you're coming up on top. This is your time. Get out of your own way. This hermit energy. I love hermit energy. And I'm not talking that hermit, I'm talking hermit energy of you going within, being with yourself, allowing the integration and the upgrades to happen, getting to know yourself, getting gut level honest, pulling out that Queen of Swords energy, no longer gaslighting yourself, no longer giving yourself excuses, lying to yourself. Guys, everything is a mirror. And remember what I said. Your relationship with you is the most important relationship you will ever have. It sets the stage for how others can come in your life. If you are honest with yourself and you do not gaslight yourself, nobody else can come into your awareness and do that to you. You will see it for what it is and you will not allow it. Yeah, just let that sit and marinate for a few moments. Guys, this is all about self-responsibility. So, and here's the thing. There is no right or wrong. It's all about choices. If you want to choose to stay in that victim mentality, the blame and shame and pointing fingers, well, so-and-so did this, well, if my parents weren't this way or so-and-so wasn't this way, that is all monkey mind. That's the shadow. That's victim mentality. There is no self-responsibility in that. And you will not grow. You will not live a life of abundance in the way that you want. And for those of you who are going, but I know somebody who is in that energy and they're wealthy, their life seems to be, There is always more going on behind the scenes. You're looking at surface level, you're comparing. Guess what? You're in the same energy. You're lowering yourself. And here's the thing, that lower victim mentality, judgment, human habit, consciousness mentality, that is what we're seeing being exposed on the world stage. Those people who are choosing to stay in that, here's the thing, guys, that's their free will choice. That needs to be honored. It is not your place to go and tell them any different. You have to allow them their free will choice. Your choice is, do you align with it? Do you agree with it? And is that what you want in your life? That's your karma. That's what you're responsible for. And if it's not, great. Then here you are. Keep facing yourself. Keep choosing to look at the positive. See the bigger picture in everything, and know that the universe is always conspiring in your favor. The universe will always deliver to you what you're thinking and feeling. What you think starts the process. When you have a feeling that matches what you think, the feelings activate the process. It activates the attraction. It activates the magnetism. So, some of you need to apologize to yourself. Forgiveness through mutual understandings. If this is rang true and you know you've lied to yourself, you made excuses, you haven't been as self-responsible as you could, and you haven't loved on yourself as much as you could, apologize to you. Forgive yourself. Moving on, endings that bring healthy beginnings. You are moving on, making that conscious choice to move on from this karmic cycle so you can bring in healthy energy, healthy people, healthy cycles. This is about getting in the flow, releasing that heavier energy that is no longer in alignment with you, so you can be in the flow and celebrate, because good times come from hard work. I'm not talking physical hard work. I'm talking energy. Time spent in good company. Are you the good company that you want to spend time with? All right, beautiful heart. Hope this helped. I'm going to leave it there. Sending you oceans and oceans of love from my heart to yours. Alakai, Alakai, Alakai.